Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk all news, comics, and media related to V. On this episode, we have solicits for August 2022, including an exclusive that's not so surprising. We talk about some cameos in a recent Disney movie, and we review the penultimate issue of War's End. Today is Friday, May 27th, 2022, and this is episode 287 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that recommends having your baby listen to transmissions during this baby formula shortage. Our show is loaded with everything a growing baby needs. I'm your host, Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Mike, the amazing and awesome producer.
Hello, everybody. Let's talk Transformers. Yeah, I got to do the line.
There you go. All right, and we're going to start off the show this week by talking about our Donatreons, because we always start off the show by talking about our Donatreons, and they are the best. We love our Donatreons. If you would like to become our Donatreon, it's really easy. Just go to transmissionspodcast.com and go and click on support, and you can join our Donatreons over there. If you don't want to be a Donatreon, but you still want to support the show, you can also support us on PayPal. But you don't have to. You can just listen for free, because that's what podcasts are about. But you get some benefits by being a Donatreon as well, like access to listening to us on live, like some people are doing right now, and automatic entry into contests, which is something that we are going to talk about real soon in a minute. But first, we're going to mention another cool thing that Donatreons get access to. The uncut version of Empire of Rust, episode 77, The Spark Awaken, part 2, which the uncut version is exclusive to Donatreons, and it will be out on Monday, June 6th. Mike, since you're here, why don't you tell us a little bit about The Spark Awaken, part 2? Anything, people want to know about this one going in? Don't spoil it.
I'm not. Don't worry. We're going to be wrapping up the chapter for the Vault of Stars with this two-parter. And if there's a new listener out there who wants to start, we are in the middle of season 2, but you know what? It's still a good jumping on point, and there will be a little bit of exposition, a little bit of backstory at the start of the next episode, which is a great jumping on point for those ever elusive new listeners named Daryl.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's my name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, all right. It's funny how these things worked out.
Seems fairly targeted advertising here.
Does this character have a Twitter?
in our ideal, target market, yeah, he has a Twitter. Also, primarily lives in Canada.
Huh? Hey, Daryl, you have a Twitter and you live in Canada.
This is nuts.
This show is made for you.
Seems like it. That's crazy. That's wild. All right. Well, maybe I'll have to have somebody check it out for me and tell me all about it.
Nicely played.
All right, we are gonna roll into our contest that we talked about last week. This thing, we got into her fast, and we're getting out of her fast. So if you are listening to us late, or you've been kind of hoarding our episodes and listening to them, in a bunch, then you missed out. But you didn't miss out if you're a Donatreon. So our Donatreons get automatically entered into all of our contests. And you were able to enter this contest by entering it through a link that we tweeted out on our Twitter page, and probably some of our other stuff too, but it was definitely out on Twitter. I saw it there. So we're going to do a drawing for the Transformers Humble Bundle that came out through IDW. It came out last week. We talked about it on the show. And we're going to do that right now. So, Jeremy, why don't you take it away?
All right. 1 second, getting everything here. Computer, are you ready?
I'm ready when you are.
All right. Because we forgot to test this before the show.
Mhm.
All right. So we have 85 people here in this spreadsheet. So that includes Donatrions and people that fill out the form. And computer, give me a random number between 1 and 85.
Here's a number between 1 and 85. It's 54.
54. That would be... I think this person is not eligible. I'm sorry, Mike. But that was you.
Why the hell am I in the list? If I can't win...
You're a Donatrion. We thank you for your support, but I think, we should pick someone else.
We got to toss it out. I'm sorry, Mike. You are awesome, and you get to be on the show, and you are pretty good at doing everything. But not eligible.
Damn, I could have used those stickers too. Gotta give me my fix.
This isn't Toy Hack. This is the Humble Bundle.
Humble Bundle.
I could have used some stickers too.
All right. Well, let's try this again.
Well, thankfully, I probably have most of these digitally already, so I don't feel that bad about it.
If you need to borrow $20, let me know. All right. So we're going to do this again. Same numbers, but chances are of it hitting Mike again are pretty low.
1 in 85.
Yeah. Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 85.
Here's a number between 1 and 85. It's 28.
That is not Mike. 28.
Would have been hilarious if it went to 54 again.
It is Marion, our friend in the UK. Not sure if she's still doing her podcast, but
Oh, very good.
yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
well, we're gonna have to double check and make sure that she can use this. In the UK, but if she can't, then we'll figure out a way to use this, because we bought this to give away. So we'll do something. But we'll get this out to Marion, and if she can't use it, then we'll do something with it.
You got a backup winner,
Marion,
right here.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So
very cool. Very cool. Awesome. All right. Moving on. We're going to do some comics news now. All right. And we got a lot of comics news this week. Holy smokes. It's like they've been saving it up for something. So what we got here is a bunch of covers, and we're going to do the covers first, and then we're going to do the other stuff afterwards. So what we've got here is Last Spot Standing, issue number 3. We got cover artwork for the RI cover, which is from EJ Sue. And then we've got cover artwork for Last Spot Standing, issue number 4, by Saren Stone. This is the C cover. So each one of these issues is getting a bunch of covers. So I think issue 5 has 6, or sorry, issue 1 has 6 covers. So that's a bunch. This also may be Last Spot Standing. This also may be the first time Saren Stone has been back on a Transformers book since the Windblade series. So this is interesting to see them back. So very cool. More cover artwork. This is for Transformers Fate of Cybertron, and this is 2 pieces of cover artwork. This is for Angel Hernandez and Alex Milne. Cover B, Angel Hernandez does cover B, and Alex Milne is doing the RI cover. I feel like we've seen these before, because I know I've seen these for quite some time. They've been part of the app I use for my for collecting my comics. League of Comic Geeks is what I use. It's a free app, and I love it. But this cover artwork, both of these have been part of have been available in that app for quite some time. And then the cover A arrived later on in the week, and this is from Nick Brokenshire. So for the same book, Fate of Cybertron. So yeah, very cool. These are some very cool images, and
they're like knocking it out apart with these, final series and stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like they're spreading the love too. Like, if you've worked on Transformers, at all during the time that IDW's had the license, come on back. You want to do a cover? Cool. Get in on it. The next thing we've got a little bit of cover artwork as well. This is for Beast Wars, and this is for issue number 17, and this is by Kelly Dang, and this is a cover, the RI cover. Yeah, the RI cover. So yeah, very cool. And we I believe the finale of Beast Wars is number 18, so it's coming up pretty quick. We got a couple stories that came out this week. One being that, well, first off, before we get into the stories, I wanted to mention we got solicitations for August for IDW's comics, and they are not much. So, yeah, so August 2022 contains Shattered Glass 2 number 1 and Last Spot Standing number 4. Jeremy, do you recall, is number 4, Last Spot Standing number 4, is that the last of the series, or does it go to 5?
I believe this is 4. I mean, this is the last one.
The last one. That's what I thought as well. Okay, so that would be the end of that. But it's also the beginning of Shattered Glass 2, number 1. So
what? They're doing another Shattered Glass?
What? Exactly. So the next story we have here is something that I definitely pointed out this week, is because CBR.com mentioned it as they had an exclusive from IDW or Hasbro or whoever the hell gave them an exclusive, saying that Shattered Glass was coming back in a sequel series. And yeah, we fucking know. Like, we've known this for a while. So, yeah, so I mean, I mentioned this, and I said that, and I tagged Jeremy in the Twitter post that I kind of said, yeah, we know. Yeah, so this is starting in August, as confirmed by the solicitations. Jeremy, what did you think when you saw this? Obviously,
I mean, obviously I was surprised. I'd forgotten that this was happening. No, I'm kidding. I was happy to see the August date. We kind of figured it was going to be around August, but I like that it's the same team, got that consistency. I'm looking forward to it, because I was pleasantly surprised with, the first one.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Now, were you surprised that CBR is claiming exclusivity to this announcement?
I mean, in our conversations on Twitter, that website, Twitter.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, in our conversations there with, us and Ant from TFU Info, I think even Danny Lore commented on it, the writer. But Hasbro, when we had that Zoom call, they were like, it should have been clear, in the descriptions of these figures. We're like, it's not in there. But, so they basically confirmed it to us, but we didn't have the exclusive information that it was going to be coming out in August, with all these quotes that the article had. So they exclusively had that information, but the announcement, I mean, I hate it when they do that. IGN does it for the toys. Hasbro will give them, quote, exclusives of toys we already know are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I think it's dumb. It's bad writing on the journalist side. You're basically just regurgitating a press release. At the very least, stop overusing the word exclusively. I mean, that's probably my biggest problem with it is the word, like, when you overuse a word like exclusively, it loses all meaning. Just say, IDW has, is announcing this. We can confirm all this information, whatever. I don't know. But yeah. I'm looking forward to the book though.
Yeah, right on. So just moving on with the rest of the comic news here. IDW put out a creator spotlight interview, and they've done a few of these lately, but this is one. They're hosted by Sam Maggs, who's their social correspondent, they're calling. And, you often forget that she's a writer as well. And decent writer for what matters there. But they've turned her into a bit of a PR person as well. So, she did this interview with Nick Roche about Last Spot Standing, and you can see the video of the conversation here. It's only about 8 minutes or 8.5 minutes long. It's not real intensive, but they do talk about Last Spot Standing and what what the series is going to be about a bit. So they don't really get into too much. They really don't want to spoil anything, but check it out if you want to there. Mike, did you check this interview out?
I have not. I am depending on you to summarize it for me.
Well, I'm not going to summarize it. It's only 8 minutes long, but it's just about the the series and it just the last Autobot kind of thing. It's and we talked about it a bit. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, because Nick Roche had an FAQ through his Twitter about the series and kind of what was it? What was his? It was like Dark Knight Returns, Hulk the End, and shoot, it was the Wolverine one. I can't even remember.
Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan. Why was I thinking Last Stand Logan? It doesn't matter. Old Man Logan. So that's it. So it's a combination of all those three stories. It's the closest comparison. So there you go. That's a quick little elevator pitch for it. Jeremy, did you watch it?
I have not had a chance to watch it yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm so on board with this series. I try to avoid a lot of interviews with creators because I just want to enjoy the ride.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably watch it after the series.
Okay.
Or maybe we can get Nick and try to talk to him again because he's always fun.
Yes, I think we should definitely try to get Nick on. Nick's a great guy, and we've had a lot of opportunities to talk to him over the years, and even eat breakfast with him. Mm-hmm. I would love a chance to chat with Nick again. Moving on to the last piece of comics news we got. Don Figueroa joined Twitter a week ago or so, and we've talked about Twitter on here. It's it's a very small social media platform that many people aren't aware of. I'm on it. It's it's pretty cool. But so Don Figueroa joined Twitter and recently tossed up a bunch of unpublished concept art for his time over at the Dreamwave Transformers versus G.I. Joe comic. And this stuff is bonkers. So yeah, you can take a look at some of this stuff and just see what he was kind of throwing out there to see where, the ideas that they were tossing around there for this G.I. Joe, comic with Transformers and the crossover there. It was a World War II era comic, apparently. and they have Ironhide, Prowl, Megatron. Megatron was a Luger pistol. Soundwave, Ratchet, Starscream, Ravage, and
Soundwave
Laserbeak.
is a rotary phone.
Who is? Sorry?
Soundwave is a rotary phone.
That is
fantastic.
kind of awesome.
Ravage and Laserbeak are grenades. One-time use robots. And
Wendell's not all that different.
One time, Optimus Prime is a what is it? A dragon wagon. And it's a transfer. He said it's a transformation based on the GoBots Road Ranger, and that's kind of cool. Silverbolt, Skywarp, and Thundercracker, Superion, Shockwave, Hound, and the Combaticons. So very cool. This is just nutso stuff. I love it. Some of third-party companies are looking at this thinking, oh, we can take some of this and turn it into, some crazy, wild third-party stuff. So yeah, this is really neat. Yeah, I'm into this for sure. These are cool. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this?
I love this. I really didn't realize that I needed to see some good 1940s vehicle transformation, but things like Prowl turning into that kind of wagon, like 1940s wagon, is just, it looks great. I'm on board with a lot of these, even the wacky ones like Soundwave and Ravage and Laserbeak turning into grenades. I mean, how does that work? Are they just like sacrificing themselves for the greater good, or are they just kind of to freak people out? But yeah, these look really cool. I would love to see these in like physical form. I think that'd be great.
There's one here so Hound is exactly the same. he's still G1 Hound. He's the last.
Yeah.
He's the last, and he's got a little note saying no change with form. He's exactly the same. He's still the exact same freaking Jeep he was in G1. I mean, I love it.
Technically Hound is probably more of a Vietnam era Jeep, but there wasn't that much change. That's hilarious.
Mike, what are your thoughts here?
These are really badass, and I really love like all of this stuff. And I agree with you. I didn't realize that I needed this in my life, but you know what? I'm there for it. I will kind of echo you a little bit with the grenade comment, though, Jeremy. That does seem a little strange. One-time use, sure. It reminds me of the guy from More Than Meets the Eye, that K-class like bomb character, whatever his name was.
I don't know.
Yeah, part of the Ravagers. If Charles was here, he'd know.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was like defective bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can't remember his name.
Yeah, Fulcrum. That's what it was. Fulcrum. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like him a little bit. It's like how is a grenade supposed to work? But I think in the end, I mean, it's just like concept artwork for it, so it's not meant to be real. It's not meant to be realistic. It's just meant to be like, hey, what kind of badass, crazy, off the wall shit can we come up with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just miss Don Figueroa art in general.
I'll agree with that. Definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, part of the appeal of this to me is I love Don Figueroa's art as well. And I look at this and you can see in the robot modes that he's worked out the transformations as well for a lot of these. And some of them have even got arrows to say, okay, well, this will flip here and this will flip there and this will flip here. And then you've got your transformation. And you look at it and it's, yeah, okay. I'm with you. I see it, So yeah, he's brilliant. He's worked it all out. these grenade ones, Ravage and Laserbeak, they're simple, but you look at their robot modes, and they still look like Ravage looks amazing in his robot mode, but you can see the grenade there. Like you can follow along with his arrows and say, yeah, okay, yeah, I can totally see how this would all fold up into a little egg. So yeah, Don's got it figured out. I'm very impressed with
I
this
love that
stuff.
Laserbeak. He says it's based off of an old Microman toy.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Very cool. Anyway, I wanted to just mention this because, Don's awesome. And, having him on Twitter now is just, if you're not following Don Figueroa on Twitter, you need to follow Don Figueroa on Twitter. He's going to be posting a bunch of stuff, I'm sure of it. And it's fantastic to be able to see all this old stuff come to light now.
Yeah, he is Sketchy Fig, SKETCHYFIG.
And that's going to do it for comics news. And we're going to move on to our review.
All right. We are reviewing Transformers War's End number 3, which was written by Brian Ruckley, art by Jack Lawrence, colors by John Paul Beauvais, color assists by Ed Peary, letters by J. Kim Wood. Editor is Riley Farmer. Supervising editors are David Marriott and Tom Waltz. So we have 3 covers. The first one is kind of a propaganda style poster with like Megatron ordering the all of the jets to attack, and they're all flying. This is by Sebastian Perez. We have really I don't know, the angry looking Sunstorm on cover B. This is by Susan Margovich. And then the RI cover is Devastator being taken over by Exarchon, who is in his Deathsaurus form. And this is by Joanna Lafuente. So, Mike, let's start with you. Which one of the covers would be your pick this week?
Sebastian's cover, cover A. Actually, I really like. I do love that art style and like the kind of propaganda poster kind of like look to it. I really dig that. I will say that who is it? Cover B, Susan. I will say that one does come at a close second, though. I really do like the look of it. The nice, clean lines and just nicely drawn part of it. But the content on cover A is what's really getting me.
Yeah, that'd be a good poster on the wall.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, Daryl, how about you?
Yes, these are some nice covers. And I'm thinking that I think I bought cover A. But I'm looking at it, and I think I like B better. I'm looking at Susan's cover, and I think I think cover B is probably the better of the 3 here. I like the RI one as well, but I just like the anger in B. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
It kind of brings Scarlet Witch vibes from,
for sure,
the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I agree. They're all good this week. But I have long been partial to the propaganda style posters and covers. So I think I'm going to join Mike in going with cover A.
There we go.
I think that would just look great blown up, sold as a print on the wall. I think that's just awesome. All right. And so this issue takes place before Transformers 43, which we reviewed last week. If I had realized that I read them out of order. If I had realized that, we probably would have done this before that. But it is what it is. The battle is on in the Sonic Canyons with an alliance between Sixshot and his Decepticons, Pyromagna and her Autobots, and Cyclonus against Exarchon, his Skywarp drones, and the Combaticons. In the middle of this battle, Jumpstream arrives with news about Devastator for Pyromagna, just as Exarchon appears and slams Pyro to the ground. Sunstreaker yells at Jumpstream that she can't be here, but Jumpstream replies that there is something worse on the way. Then she leaps onto Deathsource's back to let Pyro have an opening to blast Exarchon and drive him away for the moment. Jumpstream takes this break to warn Pyro about Devastator. Then she sees Swift and remembers that in her trip to the future, Swift told her that Cyclonus had died here in the canyons. Looking around, she sees Onslaught holding Cyclonus at gunpoint, and reflexively she teleports through Cyclonus, catching Onslaught off guard and possibly changing the future by saving Cyclonus. Outside the canyon, Team Stream watches the retreat as they feel the ground shaking. Before they realize what's going on, they see Devastator walking into the canyons. Inside his laboratory, Shockwave is talking with the other form of Exarchon when he's asked about the shielded tube in the lab that's holding Sunstorm. Exarchon is salivating at the prospect of inhabiting such a powerful body, but Shockwave won't let him because he knows that Sunstorm's body is just too dangerous. As Exarchon begins to rebuke Shockwave for disobeying, Rage runs in to let him know that Megatron has arrived and demands to speak with Exarchon. Deep within the hidden base, Zetar, Point Blank, and Sure Shot are watching Exarchon's Deathsaurus form meet with Sound Blaster. As they watch Sound Blaster confirm that the drill status is fully functional, Sure Shot says that they have to do something, even if it means sacrificing themselves. Outside the canyon, Sure Shot and Pyromagna are debating their options while Windcharger sits down and talks with Jumpstream. She says that her powers seem to be enhanced. She's jumping faster and further, and she can feel the unspace much more than before. Looking at all these groups from a distance, Cyclonus' ghosts are discussing the prospect of Cyclonus sacrificing himself to take out Exarchon once and for all. While inside the canyons, Exarchon is marveling at the sight of an actual combiner. Elsewhere, his other body has defied Shockwave by releasing Sunstorm just as Megatron is arriving. Shockwave urges Exarchon to return Sunstorm to his tube. Exarchon then threatens to turn Megatron into his latest iteration, which doesn't go over very well, and Megatron fires his fusion cannon straight into Exarchon's chest, sending him back into Sunstorm, who melts the bot. The threat mitigated for the moment, Megatron orders Sunstorm to be put back into his tube. Then he orders Skywarp to go and find out whatever he can about the secrets here in the canyons, and then return what he finds to him. At the base of the Sonic Canyons, Exarchon feels the loss of his other body, but then he looks at the opportunity before him, and he tries to take over Devastator. To be continued. So, I think this was a fun book. This is lots of action. Things are happening. I'm happy that we're finally at this point where, every panel seems to have some, more weight to it than in previous issues of this series and the other series. It's awesome seeing Devastator, especially the scale that Jack Lawrence draws Devastator at. I mean, in one panel, you see him walking by, just dwarfing all the other characters on the panel. Like you don't even see more than Devastator's waist. So this was a fun book. I thought the art was good. Jack is knocking it out of the park. JP and Ed Perry did great on all the colors. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I don't know why I'd never considered that Exarchon would try to take over Devastator, and that is a terrifying thought. But Mike, let's start again with you. What were your thoughts on the book?
Mixed, a little bit mixed. So I'll start off with the artwork, which I really enjoyed.
Mike?
Everything was. Yes.
Mike, you're on mute.
No, I'm not on mute. You muted me.
I didn't.
So Mixed. I'm kind of mixed on the book. At this point, I would actually. I'm starting to agree with Daryl a little bit, where there's not enough action. And normally, I don't have any problem with like info dump issues. I don't have problem with exposition or whenever you add lore to the universe. But they're not doing that right now. They're not adding lore or anything. They're just talking about what's about to happen, but they're not actually. There's no actual combat really started here. I mean, the only action that I really saw out of the book was Jumpstream, kicking like Cyclonus out of the way, and Exarchon trying to take over Devastator Spark. Other than that, there's a lot of talking, and considering that there's like one more issue in this mini, and then one more issue out of the ongoing.
Yeah,
well,
one more issue. The ongoing is done.
Gotcha.
So just a wrap up issue.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I expected a little bit more out of it. I mean, and I think what's happening is like I'm going into this not caring about Exarchon at all. Like they didn't give him enough of like a backstory of a reason for being. Even now, it just feels like, oh yeah, like I'm going to destroy Cybertron. Why? Because I can. I mean, yeah, he's got a in-story reason, but it's not. It just doesn't mesh with me. But there were a lot of good moments in the book that I liked, like Jumpstream doing like the jump, like teleport jump kick thing. That's cool. Mm-hmm. The moment that you mentioned where like Devastator is walking by and he's dwarfing everyone around him. Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty badass. But for me, that's all the book was. A lot of interesting moments, but it didn't really push things along for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can also see that. Daryl, what were your thoughts on the book?
Well, first, I really enjoyed the art. I thought the art was fantastic. Jack did a great job, and the coloring was really great. The story, I thought, I thought there was a little bit more action than Mike's giving it credit for. I enjoyed some of the moments. Seeing Devastator arrive was really great. I kind of hoped that he would have, maybe smashed some shit up when he arrived, but he just kind of walked past like nothing's really happening. But sure, yeah. So I expect an insane last issue of this mini. Just to see where it goes, but there was a lot of talking, and that's fine. I'm worried that we've had these kind of this group of ghosts hanging around Cyclonus the entire series, and this whole thing is going to end, and we are not going to get any kind of explanation as to, why he's being haunted by them. We know they died. We know it's because of the threefold spark the first time around. But why have they stuck to Cyclonus like this? Right? Why is he seeing them? Right? This kind of thing. I want to know the answers to that. Nobody else sees ghosts. So yeah, there's an awful lot to happen, and there are still an insane amount of pieces on the board. There's way too much to have, to have kind of take place in the one last issue of this, and then the wrap up issue. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm not as optimistic as this series will kind of hold will stick the landing as I was before, but we'll see. I don't know. I like the issue. I like the amount of action that was in it. It wasn't like insane, but the parts that were actiony, did enough. So,
yeah. I do feel like it's. I think you're right. There's so many pieces, kind of, out there that we're not gonna. This series is not gonna wrap up enough, and they're just planning on that final wrap up issue to tie everything up. And I don't know if there's going to be enough pages, even though it's a bigger issue, to do all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I hope they got it, but I don't know. So,
all right. Well, I guess we will see.
Okay.
It's our comic review.
That's it. That's it for comic review, and we'll move on to media news.
Oops, that's the wrong button.
This week in media news, we have just two things to talk about. The first is a crossover collaboration from Transformers and the mobile game Bang Bang. We actually talked about this, when was it? Last year, I think during the summer of last year, when they introduced a bunch of skins for the characters in Bang Bang. Bang Bang is a MOBA game, so a multiplayer battle arena game. And they introduced Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee last year. And this time they are bringing in Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, Ravage, and Grimlock. Now, I haven't played Bang Bang at all, and there is a cinematic trailer for this. And honestly, the trailer is like 2.5 minutes, and it is some superb animation. It looks beautiful. It's just this big kind of cinematic thing where the Transformers are fighting with and alongside what I'm assuming are the Bang Bang characters. Even if you don't play this game at all, take a look at the trailer because it is exceptionally well done. So it's definitely a good 2.5 minutes of your life. The second thing that I am going to talk about is that on the new Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers movie, we have a potential cameo of Optimus Prime's leg. I have not seen the Rescue Rangers movie, and I have not seen this clip, but I'm seeing a screenshot, and it looks like the Prime leg from the Bumblebee movie. Or from Rise of the Beast. I have
seen it, and I can spoil everything about these cameos if you want.
I'm going to throw it to you then, Jeremy, because apparently you are much more well-read than me.
I have
Daryl
not.
and I both have kids.
I have not seen it yet, but it is on the list to see very soon.
All right. So there are two cameos. One, yes, you see Optimus Prime's leg, and it does transform into kind of a roller skate mode with the appropriate sound. The other Transformers cameo, which is not in this news post here, but Blaster in full G180s animation style is also in a scene of the movie. Just this movie is much like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit in terms of animation, live action mix, and tons of cameos. And I was surprised to see those and many other non-Disney owned characters in here. I know you've seen in the trailers, so it's not really a surprise, but Ugly Sonic from the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie before they fixed the animation is in it. So it is a lot of fun. I would recommend, watching it if nothing else for the cameos. And Chip had the same lunchbox in elementary school that I did, the classic metal Knight Rider lunchbox. And that made me happy.
Awesome. Well, I would throw it to you folks, but I'm pretty certain neither of you plays Bang Bang. And we have just talked over the cameos on here, and we know who has watched it and who hasn't. So with that, I will throw it back to you guys, and that is it for media news.
All right. And we will move on to convention news.
All right. We have an update for TFCon Toronto, which is July 8th through 10th. And they have announced that Greg Berger is going to be attending. Greg Berger was the voice of Grimlock, Skyfire, Outback, and Long Haul in G1. He has had a long history in voice acting, and he is an awesome guy. So if you're there, be sure to go and talk to him. He's just amazing. And then TF Nation has announced another guest. TF Nation will be August 12th through 14th in the UK. And they have announced that Jack Lawrence, artist on Lost Light, Transformers, and My Little Pony crossover, Wreckers, Shed and Circuits, and as we just reviewed, Transformers War's End. So he does great art, as we just discussed, and I'm sure he'll have commissions and everything on his Twitter, but be sure to check that out if you're going to TF Nation, and go and say hi to Jack and buy some of his art. So that is all we got for convention news this week.
Right on. All right. And, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Before we go, we are going to do our Masterpiece Donatreon shoutouts and thank John 4X Levengood and Demon Tech 82. Thanks a lot, guys, for helping us out and being a Donatreon at our highest level. We love you, and we really appreciate the assistance. So if you wanted to join John and Demon Tech at the highest level, go ahead and head over to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and you too can become a Donatreon over there. But that's it. That's the show. Thanks again, Mike, for helping out. And where can people find you over on the socials?
Well, you can find me at Minervion, that's MINERVION, on Instagram and Twitter. I haven't posted photography on there for quite a while, but I do intend on getting back into that over the summer. And then, of course, you can listen to my dulcet tones right here on the Transmissions Network and on Empire of Rust.
Right on. All right. And Jeremy, do you have a Twitter? I don't know. Do you do things on Twitter?
I do have a Twitter. I don't post super often, but I'm trying to get back into it. I do like to stir up a little bit of stuff with you when you tag me and stuff. I am yakko.org on Twitter. That's YAKK0DOTORG. And yeah.
Cool.
I'll probably be on Twitter more often than not over the next few weeks. So yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Cool. Well, I'm looking to stir some shit up with you. And if you wanted to follow me on Twitter, I don't know why you would. I just post random pictures of comic books and Transformer toys and, anything else that catches my fancy around here. Right now, it's the NHL playoffs right now going on, and I'm posting crazy goals and hits and all kinds of cool, crazy stuff that's happening in the playoffs. And loving some hockey right now. But if you wanted to follow me, it's at Cybertron Beast. And that's it. Thanks a lot for listening, and we will catch you next time. Later.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.